4 Chinese military hackers have been charged with breaking into the computer networks of the Equifax credit reporting agency and stealing the personal information of tens of millions of Americans.
Here's a summary of the article.
Washington, 4 members of the Chinese military have been charged with breaking into the networks of the Equifax credit reporting agency and stealing the personal information of tens of millions of Americans, the Justice Department said Monday, blaming Beijing for one of the largest hacks in history. The 2017 breach affected roughly 145 million people, with the hackers successfully stealing names, social security numbers and other personal information stored in the company's databases. The 4, members of the People's Liberation Army, an arm of the Chinese military, are also accused of stealing the company's trade secrets, law enforcement officials said. The case comes as the Trump administration has warned against what it sees as the growing political and economic influence of China, and efforts by Beijing to collect data on Americans and steal scientific research and innovation. Today, we hold PLA hackers accountable for their criminal actions, and we remind the Chinese government that we have the capability to remove the Internet's cloak of anonymity and find the hackers that nation repeatedly deploys against us, he added. The case is one of several the Justice Department has brought over the years against members of the PLA. The Obama administration in 2014 charged 5 Chinese military hackers with breaking into the networks of major American corporations to siphon trade secrets. The indictment, which details efforts the hackers took to cover their tracks, includes charges of conspiracy to commit computer fraud, conspiracy to commit economic espionage and conspiracy to commit wire fraud.
This post received a score of 36,606, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Is there a non-cynical and reductive answer for why such large companies like Equifax have such poor security infrastructure? I know every company can and will be compromised at some point. I work in IT security, but from what I've read, they stored passwords in plain text with nothing encrypted, hashed, tokenized, etc. Why haven't they been dismantled? Why were their practices so poor? They aren't some startup, it's so confusing.
It's a complicated issue, but in many cases the root cause for such issues somewhat fall to the following categories. 1. Some leadership will treat you as the liability for trying to help fix stuff rather than the actual issue due to various fucked up reasons. Edit, idiots who are wholly and totally technologically illiterate when it comes to cybersecurity issues. Additionally, in terms of the above issues, there are many systems out there that rely on security through obfuscation, or general lack of knowledge by external parties over some critical vulnerabilities instead of robustness of system design.
The source data is from so many disparate sources that objects are dynamically named. These hackers broke in, wrote complex queries from proprietary systems, and exported a massive dump of data over the company pipe. How the fuck did they know what queries to write? How the fuck did they know what authentication to use, to get the appropriate data? How the fuck did they move that much data over the pipe, and not get caught? One of 2 statements is true: either the hackers spent months, possibly even over a year, poking around in systems, reading tech documents on SharePoint servers, sifting user activity, to identify the right access and query, or someone on the inside helped them by providing them with authentication and the right query. One of 2 additional statements is also true: either someone was aware of a massive dump of data across the company servers to an outside party, or no one was aware of gigantic dumps of data moving over the company pipe to an external requester.
You hit the nail on the head here. Equifax knows they are too big to fail, evidences by the fact that they are still in business. Someone sold us out. No one went to jail.
EMO, the entire credit monitoring program should be brought under the purview of the government. Make it a public company, run it for the same profits it gets today, but make it government-owned and operated. They are too big to fail, so get the government to run it. They have proven they can't be trusted. Hell, one could even make a good argument that their competition is barred from entering the market due to the complexity and history required to do so. It is such a key service to our economy that it should be protected as such.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.